High school and college hitters, you're not struggling because you don't care. You're struggling because you're overcoached and you're overthinking in the box. Inside my Pro Baseball Secrets coaching community, I bring in current and former Major League players to come and help coach my kids live. This video is from one of those calls with MLB superstar Derek Hill. He breaks down how big leaguers actually think in the box with one simple external target, how they really use the machine in training, and why he tries to be a dumb hitter on purpose when he's in the zone. This is the kind of access that my guys get every single week. Enjoy. Man, we're here with Derek Hill today, dude. Derek, you're one of the greatest athletes I've ever played with. You taught me so much about hitting in the short time we were together, and really watched you do some crazy things on the field that year in 24. And I feel like I watched you put some things together that we're still watching on TV today. So it's been fun to watch you, dude, and just want to say thank you for coming on and joining today.
Absolutely, my man. Appreciate you having me.
Bro, of course, dude. And I gotta just right off the bat, you really, I wish I could have played with you about 10 years sooner because who knows what would have stuck with me. But talking about approach, when you showed me the video talking about, it was Tony Gwynn teaching, or Todd Helton talking about Tony Gwynn telling him about his approach and hit a line drive off the pitcher's face. And when
Yep.
you brought that up to me, it was really game changer how much it simplified my thoughts in the box. And I didn't realize how often I was thinking about my load and inside the ball and stay back. And I had so many things, but when I had that really specific target on a pitcher's beard or ear, like all those thoughts kind of melted away. And so
Mhm.
would love for you to just kind of talk about a little of what that approach is for you and what it does for you specifically.
Yeah, honestly, early in my career, I was the same way. I mean, I still fall back into the same habits. Like when I'm going through a bad spell or something, where I'll think 10,000 things in the box. It'll be a pebble under my foot, and I can feel it when things are going bad. But when things are going good, it doesn't matter what's happening in the box or the stadium. But no, it just kind of hit me probably right when I got to AAA, when things started to, I guess, escalate on the crowd scale. So like you have more fans, more distractions, things like that. It's like, what do I have to do to just kind of lock in and just focus on my plan and just kind of eliminate the environmentals when I get in there, where I can just think one thought and just trust my training. And I had never seen that video before you had sent it to me. I think it was like a year ago or something. So I just kind of came up with it on my own doing, because I'd go into the cage and I'd be like, all right, let me try and hit this back net at this perfect little spot, or try and hit something on an L screen. And whenever I did that in the cage, all the mechanical thoughts would just dissipate. So it was more, what can I do out on the field to try and replicate the cage situation and all that. So that's kind of how that took.
So awesome. And so, I mean, that's one thing I preach in here is like just stay external over internal as much as possible. And, obviously we're going to spend some time in the cage to where we need to feel things out. You need to have an idea of what's going on so you can make adjustments as the season
Mhm.
goes on. But so that's interesting that that's how you kind of found it. You just picked a really specific spot because for me, I thought back net forever, but it's too vague,
Too much.
And
It's too
so
much.
you got to have kind of I had a coach with the Rays tell me you need a direction and a height,
Mm-hmm.
but having something so small like was just so specific that it helped me more than anything else, bro. So, at the very least, I just want to say thanks. Like I put
Absolutely.
some good swings together that year, and that was a huge part of
But
it.
some great swings. But
Shoot.
yeah, I mean, one more thing. It's like, think about when you're hunting. Let's say you're hunting a deer or something. You're not just looking at the deer and just shooting wherever. You're like, I'm going to pick a specific spot. And that just blocks out all the noise. And it's like, all right, I got one objective, hit this one specific spot. It's not like, oh, I hear birds chirping in the back, I'm trying to shoot, blah, blah, blah. It's like you have one thing to do. Just stick to one thing, and you're gonna decomplicate a lot of things.
Yeah, man. So I got to ask you, and that's a really good example. But what do you do on days where it's hard, for whatever reason, our focus just isn't quite there, and it's hard to really lock in on that one spot? Like, what's kind of your fallback if for whatever reason your focus isn't quite there?
I mean, just like, there's some days where you just flat out just can't focus, and you just try and work a walk or get a bunt or a jam shot somewhere. Like some days you legit, it doesn't matter what you think in the box, like it's just not going to happen. So um, I've been learning a lot with the guys that I work out right now with is the importance of taking that walk rather than trying to put the ball in play always. Because
Mm.
for me, especially because I'm a speed guy, I fall into the trap of just put the ball in play. It doesn't matter about contact, how hard you hit it, just put it in play and run like hell, instead of just taking that borderline pitch.
Dude, that makes perfect
Yeah, I
sense.
got snack time. That's why.
Oh, let's go, dude. Bring it. So, obviously, you're hitting with, we don't need a name drop, but you're hitting with some of the best players in baseball. And, like, how do they, so taking that walk, like, you kind of just touched on it, but what are some specific ways? Because you don't want to be passive, but, like, how are you more selective or more patient on those days where you don't feel great? Because on days where I don't feel great, it feels like boom, boom, 0-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, I'm hitting with some pretty high caliber guys, and honestly, we were talking about it like 2 or 3 days ago, and they're pretty much saying that's the difference between a 230, 240 year versus a 270, 280 year is trying to eliminate the 0 for 4, 0 for 5 days. Just keep it at I don't know, a 0 for 2 with a sac fly and a walk instead of just swinging to swing. Um, and it was like they broke down all of their best years, their swing percentages were the lowest that they had. So it was
Really?
like they were just going up there, they were looking to execute on a certain specific pitch. And like I said, one thought, one focus, one goal. It's a lot easier to execute that rather than just being like, oh, it's in this zone. It might be a slider, it might be a curveball, it might be a changeup, fastball. Like they're not doing that. They're early in the count. I'm looking for a slider in this specific spot because his percentages say so. All right, he didn't throw me that. I'm okay. I'm okay hitting with two strikes
Hmm.
versus I don't want to get to two strikes. And then
Yeah.
that's a completely different mindset.
Hmm. So, yeah, it's really interesting because I wanted to ask you, like, are these guys when do they have go zones and no zones, or it's exactly like you said, to where they're looking for a specific pitch in a specific spot? Like they're that specific with it. And if it's not in that spot, that pitch, then they're eating it for a strike
Yeah.
or it's a ball.
With them, it's dictated on who they're facing that day. So let's say they're facing, I don't know, let's think like Ferrer for Washington, the lefty closer. He's like, I'm going to get something middle in. I know it's going to leak back over the plate. I'm not chasing anything down because that's going to be the changeup or the sinker that's going to dip beneath the zone. Anything up, he's probably going to ride something up and in or up and away. It's going to be a ball. So they're literally just, I'm looking middle inside for a sinker and I'm not going to miss it. And they don't miss it because they're not worried about trying to hit the changeup, the slider, the fastball, the up, the down, the this, to that.
Sure.
And it just simplifies everything.
Bro, these guys, are they depending on the coach to provide all that information, or are these guys such students of the game and they've faced these guys enough that they do all their homework on their own and they know exactly what they're doing?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I'd probably say they're a little bit more dependent on themselves. It's because you've been around the league for
You know
6, 7,
everybody.
8, 9, 10 years. You face
Yeah.
everybody. You know how they're going to pitch you. You know how you've been swinging it the last 2, 3 weeks, how they've been pitching you. If you've been
Yeah.
sucking against sliders, most likely, especially in the big leagues, you're going to be getting sliders. It's not like a ball where it's like, oh, my best pitch is a fastball. I'm going to keep throwing it. It's like, no, your worst pitch is a slider. It might be my second, third best pitch, but I know you can't hit it, so
That's
I'm
what
going
you're
to
getting
throw
at.
it. And I think with a lot of the good teams, when you have a lot of veteran players, it's just a massive amount of knowledge between the team, between all the players and everybody. Because, like, let's take the Dodgers, for example. They have like 200 years of experience on the team.
So true.
Like you can draw on Freddie Freeman facing this guy 4 years ago that
Yeah.
you've never faced. And he's like, oh, this is what you should do. This is what you should look for, blah, 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 blah. So it just kind of streamlines things rather than when you're with a young team, you're depending more on the coach. And the coach
Yeah.
probably hasn't, to
Yeah.
be real,
Stepped
he
in and
probably hasn't seen it or played there.
yeah. Right.
So it becomes a little bit more difficult to fully trust the plan. Because if Freddie Freeman's telling me something versus a guy that
You're
just got
committed.
hired last year, it's hard to commit to it and buy into it.
Makes perfect sense. Um, Yeah, for sure. I had a teammate in Japan. He's like, dude, the game is just easier when you've been around. He's like, I've faced all these guys 8 times. He's like, you're seeing these
Mhm.
guys for the first time. He's like, you don't really know what to even look for. That was the first
Yep.
time I was like, wow, experience is way more crucial than I thought because when you're in the big leagues, it's the
Oh,
same, it's those guys hang around. That
yep.
was a dynamic I hadn't really thought about before. Um,
Yeah. I'd probably say that hit me the hardest. Like when I went and faced the Phillies the first time and I faced Wheeler the first time, I was like, I got no knowledge. He's the best pitcher in the world right now. I don't know how to attack him. And the second go around, I was like, okay, I have a little bit of information on how he wants to get me out. So I can look for that specific pitch, that specific spot. And kind of same result. He blew me up twice, but is what it is. Um, but yeah, it's just the knowledge that these guys have just to be able to be willing to pass it on is it's awesome.
that's so cool, bro. And dude, I feel like you've ended up in a good spot, and I know things can change really quickly, but it's really cool seeing you do your thing out there. So, don't change a
Hey,
thing.
it's a blessing, man. It's a
I'm proud
blessing.
of you.
Don't take it for granted because, like that's stuff can be gone today.
That's right, bro. And you've got a really good outlook on all that. You're a pro for sure. And so I wanted to ask you because I really like the way that you just approach everything from the mental game to preparation. So you know what? Let's go first things first. So many guys now they love the machine, and that was something that I didn't love. And I think part of the reason I didn't was my moves were pretty big. It was always tough to time it up, and I
Mhm.
love the way that you approach the machine with kind of having all your weight on your back leg. You would start even before the arm went of you kind of making your forward move, and it was so controlled. Can you talk a little bit about just your approach, hitting the machine, and how you go about it, and what you like about it?
Yeah, I think machine. It definitely has a time and a place. Like when I was over at the Marlins, all we did was machine, and it's tough. It's easy when you're going good to keep that time, but when you're trying to work on something, it I feel like it messes with my timing because you can't. There's no arm motion. It's just so it kind of messes with me a
When you have
little
a
bit.
bad feeder, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, everybody feeds different. Nobody puts the ball in with a four
I'm
seam
like,
anymore. It's
stop
ridiculous.
throwing it in,
Yes,
dude. Like,
yeah.
roll the thing. There's a little ramp. Roll that thing.
It's there for a reason. But no, I like it just for the purposes of like I'll take 5 swings at the back of the box, move up, and you see me get within 10, 15 feet of the machine just
It's
because
amazing. It's really
I like
amazing.
slowing. I use the machine to slow the game down. So I
Yes.
go in there, speed myself up real fast by moving forward, trying to get the velocity higher, 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 while still staying in the same swing path and the same feel. Like I'm not trying to change my swing to hit the ball. If I swing and miss
Yes.
at the ball, who cares? It's a fucking machine in a cage. Nobody cares.
Right.
Um, so it's just easy for me to use that as a timing rather than a tool to perfect my swing. Like I'm going to use tee and flips and a couple drills to perfect my swing, and then I'm going to go and just compete against the machine. Like I'm not trying to get better off the machine. I'm just competing.
And slow the game down. And so, can you talk a little bit
Yes.
about because for the guys in here, like Derek legit gets all the weight on his back leg to where his front foot is kind of floating, and then he'll just start going forwards where everything, but it's nothing is ever falling forwards. Like, but at the same time, you're not leaning back. It's really
Mhm.
impressive how controlled you are with that forward move. Like, walk me through in your setup in the game. Like, are you a rear-legged hitter to where your front leg is kind of a little numb or dead, and you've got your preset, all your weight is on that back side?
Mhm. Yeah, so I like to early in my career I was very, very jumpy. So like I heard I don't swing like Teacherman, but the I guess the core essence of it is a little Teacherman-esque. Um, I don't like to have any pressure on my front foot at all. So when I'm going into my load, I'm dang near doing a pistol squat on my back leg. And I just want to control, I want to be as slow as possible because I was talking to Torkelson probably, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago. And his whole thing was, I'm trying to move as slow as humanly possible until the ball
Mm,
leaves the pitcher's hands, and then I can hit the gas. Just like in a golf swing, I'm going back slow, and then it's deliver the blow. I think it's very, very difficult to have a violent load and a violent swing.
yeah.
I think it's almost impossible to be able to replicate that. So I think the more simple your load can be, it just cleans everything up on the actual path and the finish and everything like that.
Let me ask you, like, when you said pistol squat, are you does your backside still feel like tall or high, or are you
Mm-hmm.
sinking? Okay, so that is a thought. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to almost be like this. I want
yeah,
this backside to be tall and the front side to be scrunched down a little bit. I want to
yes,
feel that flex to where every my core is actually engaging. I'm not just like sitting there neutral
yep,
because that's when you get in trouble when you are neutral and you land. The first thing that's going to go is your hips and you're going to slide out.
yep,
So I'm
yep,
trying to keep that, I guess you could say 45 angle going down on the ball rather
yeah.
than trying to lift and do all this craziness.
What are some different feels to get there? Like, I went through a thing where I kind of liked almost feeling like there was something under my front arm to kind of lock that in. Like, are you always like, do you achieve that angle from a high back side? Like, that's typically does it for you? Do you have what
Yeah.
other feels do you use for
For
that?
me, I'm trying to keep this shoulder all the way pressed. I'm trying to be able to look over and see the third baseman if possible, rather than being so like up here
Yeah,
and
you're
locked in
trapped.
where I'm locked out. Like I know if
Ah,
I keep
okay.
that shoulder locked down, I'm gonna be able to fire my swing and work above the ball rather than if I'm up here, everything is gonna be leaking
Yep.
underneath.
Yeah, I love it. And I when your shoulders or when they feel square, it's like, oh, that's no good. Like I need some sort of
Mhm.
tilt.
I know if I land personally, if I land square, my hips just shift. Like my
Mm,
whole backside shifts out.
I
And
know
it just makes
exactly what you mean.
everything leak. My elbow falls underneath, my hands break, and it's either a foul ball right over the first base side or it's a lazy fly ball to right.
Gotcha. Bro, let me ask you about just your process. Like, when do you start really getting ready for your at bat? Is it,
Mm-hmm.
four batters away? Or are you in the hole? And then, like, when do you start having a kind of routine? And what is kind of your process on deck?
So on deck is strictly timing. Obviously, I'll go through my little bat weight, blah 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 stuff. It's kind of eyewash, but I'll do it still. But I want to be ready when that pitcher's releasing the ball, just like I would be in the box. um, and just try and not overcomplicate it. But I'm still watching the ABs because, as you know, pitchers change the way they pitch throughout the game. So my first AB, he might not attack me the same way the second or third or fourth if he gets there. If he gets there, he's shoving it. So
Yeah.
we don't want him to get to the fourth. Um, but I would say my at bat, realistically, my at bat starts the night before when I'm doing all my research and pitch sequences that he likes to use. Um, and I like to get up and do like, oh, I want to be ready here on video, but obviously it's not the same as being on deck or being in the dugout, seeing him in person. But it's just a nice way to kind of fill that gap until you get to that next day. Um, but yeah, I don't put like that much emphasis on the on deck besides just being ready. When his foot's down, I want my foot to be down. because I know I'm gonna be a little bit late. So if I can get down mentally when he's getting down, then I'm gonna be right on time.
So do you think like get your foot down then, or it's like you're ready to go when he's releasing?
I think get my foot down because I'm all for some reason I'm always delayed. Like he'll be like, "Oh, I want to pick my foot up when he breaks his hands." It's like, and I'll go back and look at the video,
You're late.
and he's all the way like here before I pick it up. But mentally, I know I have to start earlier than what I actually would start to be on time.
That's interesting, bro. And I wonder, I'm the exact opposite. So I'm just running through my head. Like, I think I like to get to my front side. And so it's
Mm-hmm,
like, if I think about my foot getting down, I'm kind of heavy, like
mm-hmm.
too much. And so maybe that's interesting that you're potentially the opposite, that you like that feeling of getting the foot down. That's interesting. Um, Bro, I wanted to ask you, like, well, first of all, I don't think people realize what professional players go through, especially big league players. Like you're gonna go play a game, get home at 11:30 midnight, and then you're gonna pull out the video and you're gonna start preparing for the next day. And you're
Yeah.
someone, I mean, do you still stay up pretty late?
Oh yeah. I do just because I don't well, now that I have a child, I didn't like waking up in the morning. Like I felt if I woke up in the morning, I was groggy all day. So I would stay up, do all my homework at nighttime, and then I'd sleep until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then wake up, eat something real quick, and go into the field. But you're probably the opposite. You're probably a morning bird where you did all your
For
stuff in the
sure, for
morning.
sure. Dude, I used
Uh,
to be amazed, bro. Like for the guys
yeah.
here, Derek is I heard about this. This was interesting. Justin Sua is a mental skills coach, and he was working with the Cleveland Browns, and he was like, "Bro, the wide receivers, they're cheetahs." He's like, "They're late for every meeting. Everything they do, they move super slow. It's like they never use any energy." And bro, that was you. Like up until
Yeah.
the game, slow, bro. Like just
Sleeping on the
woke up
couch.
out of bed, like I'm awake in the park doing my like stretch routine, like
Yep.
got to get moving. So I was always blown away, dude. Like, and your ability, like just your motor and turn on the gas was always so cool. But man, I want to ask you, like, I felt like I didn't get to ever see you play before 24 when we were teammates, but man, I feel like you really put something together that year. Like, you hear of guys kind of figuring it out? And obviously, you're a supreme talent. You've been in the big leagues before that year, but was there some things that clicked that have like held true up until now?
I think the honestly, I think the biggest thing it's hard to play with confidence when things are going bad. But if you can truly believe that no matter what happens throughout the year, that things are going to turn for the better, I think truly accepting that because they always do. Like you never have 500 straight plate appearances where you were just absolute garbage. So it's like at some point I'm gonna break out of this. So just being able to just hammer that home mentally throughout that whole offseason, it's like just don't panic. Like don't change your swing because you went 0 for 20. That's I think that was the hardest thing for me, and I still go through it. Like last year, I changed my swing like 3 times, but the ability to have the same swing day in day out because you're just building. It's just compounding. So it's like if I were to have $10,000 and put it into a bank and leave it there for 20 years of baseball, that $10,000 is going to be pretty damn good at the end of the day. But if I take $10,000 and take it out after every bad 0 for 20, that $10,000 is going to be what? 15, $20,000. It's not gonna build to anything. So being able to accept that you're gonna suck sometimes, but still also knowing that that suck is going to end. I think that was something that really clicked that year. Is like I'm not panicking. Like if something goes wrong, I know I'm going to come out of it, and having the confidence, knowing that it's going to end. Because when you're in the thick of it, you're like, I'm never going to get a hit again. Like I truly don't care if they'll bring a position player in, and I'm like, I'm going to punch out.
Don't want to
But
face this guy.
it's like it's worse when you face the position
For
player. I
sure,
swear.
for sure.
But it's like just knowing and truly trusting that you are going to come out of it and you're going to figure it out just kind of sets you free to just go play baseball. It's like
Yeah.
You weren't worried about going 0 for 20 in T-ball or in your AU or what 8U. Like you're just like, I'm just going to have fun. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm out here with the boys. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I think once you can get back to that, rather than it's like, oh, I need to do this. My livelihood, my scholarship, my this, my that depends on it. It's like, no, you're gonna be fine. No matter what happens, you're gonna be fine. At the end of the
That's
day,
right.
all this stuff ends.
That's
So
right.
you're going to be fine. And just being able to really think and let that soak in, I think that was the biggest key for me.
So awesome. Yeah, actually, Chase Darno told me that he came at the end of his career. He realized he's like, bro, what's the worst that could happen? He's like, I'm gonna walk up here and I'm gonna strike out or hit into a double play. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
my legs work, my family's good. He's like,
Yep.
dude, life is good. What's the worst that could happen? That for me, I was like, that's a different way of thinking about it. But it resonated with me at the end of my career because man, like we're playing baseball. You hear it all the time, but life is good. So that makes perfect sense.
Life's real good.
Right. What about how do you look at your at bats during the season? Like, do you look stats wise? Like, are you tracking every 10 at bats, 20 at bats? Like, how do you stay present while not hitting the panic button after a couple bad games?
So I'll run you through what I do. It is on a 10 at bat basis. I don't care about hits. I just care about quality at bats. It's like if I can have just 5 quality at bats out of 10 because you start going in 6, 7, 8. It's like you're not going to be perfect. Nobody's going to have that. Like being realistic, if I can have 5 quality at bats throughout the 10, not counting, I don't count walks or hit by pitches or any
Doesn't
miscellaneous
a
stuff like
walk
that.
does not count for quality at bat as
No,
far as you tracking your 10
no. It's just
hard hit
how am
balls.
I attacking this AB? Am I swinging at good pitches? Am I barreling a ball up? Am I moving the runner over? Like just kind of bringing it back to the nitty gritty of the game. Like
Mhm.
get a good pitch, put a good swing on it, keep it simple. And then after every single AB, I have my little book and I'll go back and I'll chart everything down the pitch location, the pitch type. Did I swing at this particular pitch? And then to the right of it, I'll have all of his pitches fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. And then underneath that, I'll have summaries. So I'll write what I felt his fastball did because, as you know, you'll go up there and let's say this guy throws 92, but you come back to the dugout and you're like, damn, that felt like it was like 98. Like he blew me up. But if you go look at the sheet, you're like, I'm going to destroy this kid. So being able to write that stuff down. So when I face him next week, it's like, all right, I know I gotta be ready for this fastball. Or his curveball is more depthy than what the pitch chart says. So just being able to have just a little bit of a reference point to go back on because you face especially coming through the minor leagues, you face so many pitchers. You rarely face the same guys because everybody's going up, down, left, right. So being able to have something to go back to and be like, oh, I faced this dude at the end of 2023. Oh, this is what I remember, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to remember that stuff if you don't write it down
No,
or
for
have
sure.
access to video. Like,
I didn't remember anything.
just being able to just pull that from the book is, I think that is tremendously like, it's incredible what that will do for your career, honestly.
Yeah, that's crazy valuable. And so, I mean, such a student of the game. Like, what are the key things you're looking at with what you're writing down? Like, was it? It's obviously pitch selection. Like, was it where you wanted it? Is timing a factor in that? Are you thinking about that, or it's more so
I'm
here's what he threw
not,
me?
yeah, not so much timing wise. It's more just how it felt like what he did because I always have like a little bit on the other side of the book. I'll have my little thoughts that I have, my cues and everything like that. But for the front side of the book, it's strictly just how did the pitcher execute his stuff or not execute his stuff, and what was the result.
Got you. Well, bro, we got a couple college guys in here. Like, if you could, talk to your younger self, like what do you know now that you could
Mm,
save some time if you could tell yourself your younger self?
mm. Go ahead, bro.
go to a place like Arizona or somewhere that you can train with the best of the best
Mhm.
and the knowledge and the technology that you'll have.
Okay. I don't know if y'all heard her, but
Get her on camera, big dog.
yeah, for real. Uh, her her thing was pretty much surround yourself with other good players in a good atmosphere.
Mm.
How for me it's been instrumental to the growth. Like I feel like I know a good bit about baseball, but the day, like you always know, the day that you think that you know everything about baseball is that's when stuff's going to start going wrong. So just being able to be around other knowledge, other minds, because they might think of something like we think completely different, but you take that one thing from me and it's like, oh, that changes how I go about this.
It's amazing how that works, bro.
I would say the biggest one for me, honestly, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, is just being okay with failing. Like we all want to be so perfect. We all want to go 10 for 10, especially the guys that are 200 hitters and think that they're going to go 10 for 10. Like I think you're not saying that you suck by being realistic. Like it's okay to be like, oh, I just want to hit 300 this week. It's okay to have realistic expectations, obtainable expectations, because when you do obtain that 3 for 10, you're like, you're like, hell yeah, let's go. But if you have unrealistic expectations, like, oh, I want to go 6 for 10, and you only go 4 for 10, you're like, damn, I kind of suck. Like you never give time to give yourself props. I think when you do something good, acknowledge it. Like you have to acknowledge it, because
how do you acknowledge it? Like verbally, do you write something down? You just give yourself
I'm like,
a
I'm
pep
the
talk?
shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like I just lace something off the wall. Like this is dope, because it doesn't come around very often when you do that. When you go backside off the wall or something, it's like the old school mentality of like, oh, you don't want to get too high, too low.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna get too low, so why not get too high?
Yeah, so true, bro.
Because
That is
when
really
you
valuable.
suck, you're like, damn, I'm terrible. I am the worst player of all time. But when you're hot, when you're red hot, you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say anything, because then I'm not going to be hot anymore. It's like, no, you need to realize that you're hot right now and enjoy it while you're hot. Because no matter how good you are, at some point you're not going to be hot. It doesn't matter if you're Mike Trout. Mike Trout, has he ever hit 350? No.
Right.
Just it doesn't happen. So when you are doing good, give yourself some flowers. Like don't just continuously beat yourself, just grind yourself into the ground, because that's how, number one, you stop loving the game.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. Like you got to give yourself some flowers every now and then.
Love it, bro. Yeah, that's so valuable. That's really cool. Well, bro, tell you what, Ryan, Brady, if y'all have got any questions, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get to you. But Derek, what I want to do right now, I've got some swings up here from guys in the group that actually I haven't even looked at yet. Are you down to kind of take a look at them and give me your feedback of what you think?
Of course.
Let's go. All right. This is Ryan. He's in the group right here. Like I said, I haven't watched these, but these are some machine swings, I think, Ryan. Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to talk through something.
Yeah, these are literally from this morning.
Let's go. Let's get some volume so you can see if they're pinging or not. Ryan, how did this feel today?
Honestly, pretty good. It's like my second time hitting the machine in like a month.
Yeah, he's been strictly T.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So one thing, do you do the same routine? Like you'll go back, let's say, like I played with Texas for a little bit and I played with Seager. And I'm not joking. It would be one swing every minute, because he would act like he's getting into the box. He would do the exact same routine. He would feel the exact same weight shift in his hips. He'd get his hands, but that's why you always see him in the batter's box doing all this tinkering and stuff, because he's trying to get to that exact spot that he's practiced 10,000 times in the last week to just be just that much more accurate. So I'm not, obviously those are cut videos and whatnot, but I'm not saying anything about the swing or blah 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 blah. I think being able to do the exact same thing in every single swing is monumental. I mean,
Yeah,
And
that
yeah,
makes
that's your
sense.
approach now, Derek?
say that one more time.
That's kind of your approach. Like you take a lot more time in between swings. You're trying to replicate the
Oh
game, like at least when you're off the machine. Like
yeah, yeah. I'm taking it as a legit at bat every single time. I'm not just going in. I'm never going in there just to swing off the machine. Like
mm.
I'm always playing a game. Like I'm not saying it to anybody in the cage, but in my mind, I'm like, all right, guy on second, one out.
Oh, you
Let me
always
go.
do that. You always call it situations. At
Yeah,
least when I was there. Yeah, that was cool.
yeah. I'm always trying to put myself in a situation that I might find myself in later in the game, rather than just going in there swinging, 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 swinging. You already got your swing
Yeah.
by the time, like, yeah. Let's see what we're working on.
Derek, one thing I wanted to ask you was, we talked about, and Brady, I'm going to come to you. We talked about that hip kind of feeling high, that back hip.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I feel like things are working a little uphill from the lower half right here, like to where we might, I don't know. I feel like if the hips are off like this, everything's kind of working underneath. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I mean, like a guy that I hit with is, let's say, Bregman or something like that. He's trying to keep his belt line literally like this. He's trying to
Yes.
keep this, and he's trying to keep his shoulders and hips pointed at the opposing dugout. He's trying to keep everything in a box because let's say this shifts out, you're falling outside of that box. You're trapped in that box versus being here, you can move fluid throughout that box.
Hey, will you tell Bregman that the video he posted forever ago with the flashlights of the hips and
Yeah.
shoulder was revolutionary for me. So
Yes.
tell him thanks for being cool with that and going online because that was a big deal for me. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. I got you.
All right, so Brady's got a question. Hit us up, Brady, and then Ryan, I want to go to you about if there's anything you want to talk through with Derek.
Yes, so with being in the cage and trying to do the same thing every time, like, taking your time in between at bats, replicating like game situations, like what about the days that you're working on stuff? Like maybe trying your hands at a different spot or working on your load. Like, do you have a
Outside real fast. Just for like 10 minutes. My child is wild as all outdoors.
Bro, that's all of us.
Legit wild child. Say that one more time.
So like when you're in the cage, you're working on the same, consistency and like
Mm-hmm.
game at bats. But what about the days when you're working on stuff? Like, do you have a different approach? Or are you kind of just trying to replicate your same swing because you found it, like it plays? Like, what's your approach on days where you feel like you're kind of off and you need to work on stuff?
On those days, I try and minimize like as much as possible. I don't want to swing myself into a hole because for me personally, if I go in there searching for something, I'm going to be in there for 2 hours and my freaking hands are going to be bloody at the end of the day rather than just getting in there. If obviously, if you ain't playing a game that day, just getting in there, realizing, all right, today it's not that great. Like, why would I hold myself back and take horseshit swings just because I'm trying to find something? It's like, no, sometimes you just don't have it that day. So it's like less is more because
What a,
yeah, you're gonna swing 200-300 times. You're gonna go through 4 5 6 buckets. What did you find? Like what did you find? You just took what 300 bad swings to get 100 good swings.
So
You
Derek, let
know,
me ask you this: like, if you could go back to yourself in college, or even a couple years ago, like, Brady's at a point now to where we're working on some things and we're in the off season, and so, do you have a different approach in the off season
Mhm.
versus the season? Like, or the past couple years, have you felt pretty dialed in through the season? The off season is just pretty much like, let's keep where I'm at and just maintain. Or how often are you trying to tweak some things in the off season?
I would I would say at the end of every year, I'll go back and reflect off how I did that year, how I felt that year, obviously the stats and what they're telling me, but more or less how I felt. Um, and then I'll write down what I feel like I need to work on. Like if I was overstriding, it's like, okay, obviously there's a reason why I'm overstriding. If I was casting my hands, so it's just more of a cat and mouse game of trying to figure out what I can just polish up. It's not that I'm trying to like perfect it, because you're never going to perfect anything in this game, but just being able to round off the rough edges. So when you do get back in there the next year, it's like you don't fall back into the same traps.
Yeah, makes sense. And Brady, I think it was a great question. I mean, and
Yeah.
Derek, I think that's so valuable during the season. We had Krim on here a couple weeks ago or
Hmm.
last week, and he was going through it that year we were together. And dude,
Yeah.
he would take a billion swings off the machine, and we'd all watch him and be like, dude, he does not need more swings off the machine. And so I really, and I've fallen in that trap before during the season where I'm like, I'm gonna burn it in. Like whatever, I don't have a good feeling. I'm gonna swing until it shows up. And then when it shows up, I'm gonna keep taking those swings until it's like it won't go away. But you're
And
right,
I
man.
mean,
Like,
sometimes though, you just got to go in there and just say, you know what, F it. I'm just going to swing until the brakes fall off. Like, there
yeah,
are some days where I'll go in there and I will legit be drenched in sweat when I'm coming out of it, just because I just feel like I need to get it off my chest. I need to swing. But when I'm emotionally stable and I'm not just thinking so emotional about, oh, my swing's never going to come back, when I'm actually in the right mind, it's like, all right, yeah, my swing feels like crap. Let me get a couple good ones and just let that marinate. I'm not going to get a couple good ones and then go chase it again, because then I'm going to lose it. It's like, let me just get a couple good ones, get out, because then I'm going to feel not good, but better going into my ABs.
which is huge. Man, Derek, I want to ask you, Um, just talk a little bit about approach. I want to ask you two situations. So, let's say it's early in the game. Maybe your team's down by 2 runs. There's a runner on second, nobody out. What is your specific approach? Obviously, righty, lefty,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But what would you say is kind of your basket approach? Runner on second, nobody out.
We're on second with nobody out. I'm just trying to go oppo with it, because no matter what, if I get out, I'm moving that runner over. Um, yeah, it's easy to be like, oh, I want to drive this guy in, because whenever I thought about doing something more than what the game required, I would always fail. I'd go chase something. I would have terrible contact, terrible plate discipline, like everything, instead of just the game's telling me it wants me to hit the ball the other way. Just keep it simple. Like, why am I trying to go 450 in the upper deck pull side? It's like, no, just take the knock the other way. They're already giving you the knock because the hole's open, because this guy's holding them. It's like, just take your base hit.
So I got to ask you, because we talked earlier about having a really specific external target, and now you just said, "Well, just go oppo." Like,
Mm-hmm.
is it a much bigger target of like, are you just going to be later? Are you lining up like, man, 4 hole is open right here. Like, I'm going to attack the 4 hole.
For me, like in that situation, when I'm looking mentally, when I'm saying I want to hit it off the pitcher's forehead, that just makes me stay squared.
Yes.
So whenever I think the broader, like I'm really driving it the other way, then I come out of my swing a little bit,
Yeah.
rather than just like, oh, I'm just going to back it up a little bit
Yeah.
and shoot it. But mentally, I'm still saying my direction is still going right back at the pitcher.
Okay.
I
So I
don't
mean,
I
you're
don't ever want
across
to
the
change my
board.
direction.
That is your sights. Like I'm staying sideways longer because this is my target. I'm hitting the ball here.
Mm-hmm.
When you catch out in front, it goes, dude. I had an experience this year playing, and I'm in the check. Like it's different velo to say the least. But I'm trying to hit a guy out. I'm trying to hit a pitcher's face, and then I was still crazy early, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to his oppo ear, and
Mm-hmm.
bro, homer center field, like that little adjustment going from like his beard over here to this ear was enough to change everything. And so, I wasn't sure what you would say, but
Mm-hmm.
for me, going from like nose or forehead or something here to just there was enough, like to where I recommend guys, potentially we're all different, but that situation where we need to hit something on the ground to the right side or hit it hard to the right side, like you can still, like you said, be honed in, like, dude, the middle plays.
Yep. I would
Very
say
cool.
so. The whole reason why I chose the middle is just like you saying, the middle plays. There's a lot of hits up the middle in the gaps. Whenever I was trying to like, oh, I want to get this ball and pull it over shortstop, it would change how I attacked the entire AB, number one. And then my body would be completely out of sorts. So it's just something to give me a true neutral. And then it's like, okay, well, today I woke up and I feel like absolute crap. I know I need to be a little bit more on time. So, like you're saying, I'm going to shift the pinpoint focus just a little bit over this way. But I'm not making these crazy drastic changes where I'm trying to go from pole to pole. It's like, no, just slide it enough. It's just something so small that changes in your brain rather than doing the same thing over. Because you do the same thing over and over and you don't get hits, you're like, why am I doing this? So it's like if I can just switch it just enough, just slide it over, like you're saying, to the other ear. It's like, oh, that's something new to think about. So it's just a fresh take.
And it's just so specific, dude. I really like it a lot. Well, dude, this has already been awesome, man. I mean, I'm curious. Hit me one more approach. You know, first and third, one out. Are you trying to get something up? Are you trying to scoop the ball a little bit more, or still
Might be a sneaky little push bunt right there.
That's nice.
No,
You got that in the bag.
a little first and third action. That's a tough one. I mean, I think the more you study the game and you watch what the greats of our generation and past generations do, like I think if you can copy what they do, like they've already written the roadmap. There's nothing that you have to go out and reinvent the wheel. It's like what is going to succeed is going to succeed today, 100 years ago, and 100 years into the future. There's no need to overbake it because that's when you start thinking, and when you start thinking, that's the enemy of success is thinking. Because when you're red hot, you go up there and you're like, you have one thought and you get into the dugout and Woody would be like, hey man, what were you thinking right there? I'm like, dude, I don't even remember.
Exactly.
You know, but like when you strike out and you're in a slump, it's like, dude, what were you thinking? Well, I was like, man, my elbow felt here, my hips felt here, my whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like, all right, you've already lost. You're thinking way too much. Just go up there and be a dumb hitter. Like truly, like mentally be like, I'm not thinking about anything but one thing. I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. I'm not trying to be this smart, savvy. It's like, no, I just want to be a dumb hitter. Get a good pitch, put a good swing on it, keep it simple.
I like it, bro. Yeah, it's funny how when you play the game long enough, it's like some of the best hitters you've been around, you know, they're not the smartest guys, you know, but then you've been with other guys like yourself who you're next level with everything in the game, but obviously your ability to keep it simple is next level, man. So
it's a struggle.
It's a struggle, bro. Why is it?
The smart hitters, like I shouldn't say smart, the smart people. Yeah. The smart people, honestly, I feel like they're more streaky because they will dig themselves a hole. Like you have a guy that is super knowledgeable about how his body works, all these mechanics, everything like that. I feel like those guys are more susceptible to going into slumps rather than a 16-year-old from Venezuela. He's like, oh, I punched out 4 times. Like, I don't care. I'm going to go up there the 5th time and absolutely destroy a ball. But that super smart kid from Duke University, he's like, oh, I just want to put the ball in play. I just don't want to strike out for a 5th time. It's like
my scap. I'm not getting my scap.
Oh, you've already lost. Be stupid. Just be a dumb hitter.
Love it, man. Well, listen, guys, we got about 4 minutes here. Anybody else have another question you want to pop off? Oh, I got some more swings, dude. Go ahead and raise your hand. I want to show you Brady real quick. And then Graham, is this you? It says iPhone 2. Is that you, Graham? Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. Get your thoughts, DL. You got to get some volume, though.
Boys in his legs right there. Honestly, I mean, lefty swings, you guys are cheaters. Let's be honest.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah, they're cheaters.
Like that.
You know how many times I've thought about switching to become a left-hand hitter, even when I'm like 28 years old?
It's so much more pure.
That's sick. Everything just looks fluid. There's no waste. There's no real wasted motion. Run that back one more
Yeah,
time.
like he just looks strong and ready to fire from the setup, you know?
Hmm. I think the only thing that might get a little sloppy is just, I mean, that's pretty freaking tight. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say,
What do you
if you
got
just
though?
keep letting these hands travel until you snap, sometimes that can get a little bit disoriented, but that's, I mean, pretty damn
That's funny
repeatable.
because I was telling him, I'm like, hey, let's freaking get this thing bigger. I want to see what happens. I want to
I mean,
see
you
if
get it looked like he got juice right there. It's okay if you hit it in the first row.
Sure. Yeah,
That's
he's
that's
funny.
real nice. But you were a super handsy hitter though. Like
Yeah,
you had to have that big move to feel where the barrel was. Like you wanted to feel
exactly.
that barrel.
Yep.
Almost like Sheffield. Like you just wanted to feel your hands
Yeah.
and barrel. Like when I do that, it's almost like a hobby bias where it's just like I lose where the barrel's at when I start
Mm.
flicking my hands anywhere. So I'm trying to be almost as like I want to get
Stick.
in that starting spot where I can swing from and just hold until I pop.
You might have been the one that told me that you feel like in your setup you want to be able to get a good swing off.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I forgot that was you, bro. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that sticks with me or stuck with me. Brady, what do you got, bro?
Yeah, Derek, when you're hitting, when you like to feel your hands kind of stay, like, do you still feel like they set, or do you kind of feel like you're better when they just stay in that same spot and then go? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. Um, I like, so when I'm going at 110%, like nastiness, I like setting my hands up because I like sinking. I almost like thinking like sitting, like pressing myself into a chair. So like it just makes me, number one, get into my back hip a little bit more. And it also gets my hands mentally, gets my hands above the ball. So I feel like I can attack any pitch. Um, I get a little bit in trouble when I'll start. Yeah, let's see
Here
this
we go,
little
dog.
business off of
That's
Abbott.
pretty high right here. So
They
sick,
don't like
guys.
that's that real verse feel. So when I'm sinking, my hands are kind of like staying where they started, but in my mind, like the actual feel feels like I'm pressing them up, but I'm really just sinking down into my hip.
And I mean, you can see in his setup like how much like this leg is just floating, and it's just so like guys, what I'm talking about with him on the machine is what you see here. Like he can start early and like be so controlled on the way forward. Like he could have held that way longer coming out of it. Like if nothing ever happened, he could sit right here all day. It's really impressive. I think this was a grand slam, huh?
Yeah, that was a nice one off Mr. Abbott.
So sick. Um, let's look at the tilt that we talked about. So right off the bat, like this feels like it's the highest point.
Yeah.
And Ryan,
So
so
like
this is just what
yes,
we're
my,
seeing, kind
my
of the
my
opposite.
belt still looks like a little bit like this, but that front hip is just cocked in a little bit, and then the back
Yeah.
hip is still high. So it feels like this,
Yeah.
but it looks a little bit more like that.
How about your back foot, the way you've got it turned like this? Is that something you've messed around with? Like used to be out,
Yeah.
square, and you like it here?
So when I'm out, it's more of like it's pretty much just a barrier for me to not be able to go past. Because like when I had it open,
Mm,
I would be able to rotate way more versus when it was closed off, I would hit that end range of my hip and it would be like, oop,
yeah.
I'm stuck there. And now I know I'm locked and loaded. I don't need to go get more. Versus when it's open, it's like, oh, I could get more. I'm gonna hit this ball 800 feet. And it's like
That's
roll over to shortstop.
you totally discombobulated everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it throws everything off.
Dude, I love just how still you are, like you talked about. Like if you are quiet leading up to the swing, then the swing can be violent. And that's, I mean, that's you to a T. Like so calm and under control, bro. It's freaking awesome. Um, well, bro, our time is up, dude. I just want to say thank you so much. Anybody have one last question? Graham, you got something? No, chilling. Okay. Well, fellas, man, Derek, can't thank you enough, dude. I know you've got a family, you got Thanksgiving tomorrow, and so congrats on being a dad. And dude, thanks a lot for doing this,
Back
and
at you,
just
my man.
appreciate you a lot, bro.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, Derek. Appreciate you, bro. We'll see you later. Later, guys.
All right, guys. Appreciate
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
See ya.